Hi, welcome to episode 96 of the Passionate Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over, join. Thank you so much for being here, and just let's get started because I have a lot of things to show today. So, first off, what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Nook that I showed you last time as a finished object. The pattern is from the first Lane magazine. Line, I don't know. Yeah, it was my Ravelinic project. It is knit out of my own hand spun, and it was done in under a week, I think. Super easy, super quick. And here's what it looks like with a pair of jeans. You know, it's a stockinette sweater, but I really like it, and it is very, very warm, I have to say. So I'm going to melt a bit. For knitting in the past, I have two things finished. The first thing that I finished is my pair of socks. It's the first adult pair of socks that I've knit this year, which is crazy considering my usual sock knitting. But here it is. The yarn is Style Craft Head Over Heels, I think it's called. I'm not sure. I got this as a gift from my friend Katrin, whom I met last year at EYF. So I took the yarn this year to EYF to knit on. And I finished one sock and had started the second, and I finished the second at home. They are very matchy. I did wind off a bit of yarn after I finished one sock to make it perfect. And they really are. They turned out amazing. Can you see? Very, very matchy. They are for me because, you know, the yarn was a gift from a wonderful friend. Ow. Oh, God. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those shows today. So yeah, I finished the socks. They are amazing. The yarn is great. It's really great yarn. And I look forward to wear these now. So, which I won't be able to, I think, because I think it's finally time for spring around here. But these will be on my feet sometime in the future. So, first thing finished. The second thing that I finished is the 3-color cashmere cowl by Joji Locatelli. I showed it last week as a work in progress, and it is now done. I wore it yesterday, and I love it. I think it's amazing. So here it is. The yarn that I use is from Dibadou. It's her Twisted 50s, which means it's 50 grams skeins, which is great because you only need 50 grams for this. And 3 colors. The thing is, my yarn was, I think, a bit thicker than the yarn that Joji Locatelli used, so I had a little less yardage, which resulted in me running out of the green, which is color 1. And I ran out of it here, which is not a big deal. There should have been some rounds in this sand color with stripes of the green before I did the ribbing, but I didn't. And no one knows. So yeah, it is a super fun, super easy, super quick knit. I knit this on 3.25 millimeter needles. That's a US 3. The pattern calls for 3 millimeter, but I'm a very tight knitter, so I decided to go up. And I'm not going to put it on. It's a cowl, you know. It looks great, I think. And the fun thing is, a lot of my friends and my mom and some people that watch the podcast told me they didn't think that this color went well with the others. And I said, no, it's going to work out. You'll see. I think it looks great. And, you know, as I have to wear it, I love it. I don't care. So the colors that I used are caramel. This one's called Grün, ja Grün, which is a weird name. And this one's called Salzsee. Yep. 3-color cashmere cowl, easy, quick project. Wait, I brought the bag. I had it in this bag, which I made. It's still my favorite, I think. Yeah, just to show you, I had this much left of the other 2 colors. So I just ran out of the green, and I brought it to show you the label from the yarn. That's the label. And this is what I used. So It's done. I knit it on a 40 centimeter, that's a 12 inch, no, 16 inch. Yeah, it's a 16-inch circular, fixed circular needle, and it's the only Ka needle that I own. And I bought this in San Francisco years ago because I wanted to try out the needles. And yeah, they're okay. Nothing special, but not awful. So just okay. And these are the two things that I have done. Now, for knitting in the present, I have only one thing that I worked on this week, but it's a big thing. I got yarn at my local yarn shop a few weeks ago because I took my son to the dentist for the first time. So I had to reward myself for that, right? So I did. And what I've got was 6 skeins of this yarn. It's online Linie 292 Saal. Very interesting name. But it is this super junky, kind of stripy yarn. And I had only gotten 6 skeins because that's all that she had left. And I got them on sale. So what I did, I decided that I really wanted to have something to wear out of this and not just an accessory. So I went online and I bought 7 more skeins because I thought, you know, this is super thick stuff and I'm going to need a lot of meters to finish something. And now I have 3 skeins left because I almost finished my cardigan out of it. So yeah, I have 3 skeins left. No idea what to do with them. But here is my cardigan. I worked on this exclusively after I finished the other things. Oh no, shit. And I just made a mess out of my yarn. I told you it's going to be one of those days. So my cardigan looks like this. Yeah. Let me show it to you and then I'm going to talk to you. So here it is. I, of course, did what I always do when I have yarn that I don't know what to do with. I went on Ravelry and did the advanced search. And I came up with a pattern and thought, this looks good. I could use this pattern as a guideline. And turned out I had the book. So I'm using a pattern from this book. It's called Fitted Knits. It's by Stephanie Chappell. And this was put out 2007. And I bought it when it came out. So I've had this for a long time. And I also have already knit 3 of the things in here. So that's my 4th project out of this book. And the pattern I'm using is called Thick and Thin Cardigan Coat. And this is it. As you can see in the pattern, she uses the bulky or chunky weight yarn for the main body, but she uses worsted weight for all the ribbing. And that's exactly what I did. And I found 2 skeins of this yarn in my stash. It's 100% Falkland. It's a worsted weight. It's by Zauberwiese. It is beautiful. And I thought that these colors just went together so well. So I settled on this project or on this pattern. And I did a lot of changes because the yarn that she uses is even thicker than what I have. And she knits on a 10mm needle. No idea what that is in US. I have a 9mm needle that I'm using. That's a US 13. And my gauge was different. So even with the numbers for the biggest size, it was too small. So I did the raglan increases and everything as written. And then I decided the length of the raglan was great because I have written down the length for my raglan that I need, the depth, you know, for a sweater to fit. So I measured that and I was at the exact same point that I needed to be. So what I did is I cast on 8 stitches on each side in the underarm here to give me more width in the body. So I ended up with way more stitches than her pattern. So I used the pattern as a guideline from there on. I did, let's do it like this. I did some increases in the side seam because, you know, I'm a pear, so I need more fabric in the bottom. So just, I think every 6 or 7 rows, I did an increase for, you know, in the side seams, like I just said, to make it wider, because this is quite long, you know, it goes halfway down my bum. So I needed to cover the, that's what I did. And the other thing is for the sleeves, her pattern doesn't do decreases. And I didn't want that because these sleeves up here are quite big. So I decreased just the way I thought it would work, which for me ended up being every 6 rounds. I did 5 rounds in between, and then I did a decrease. And I decreased down, like I said, I'm not using her pattern anymore. I had 40 stitches on my sleeves when I started, and I decreased down to 22. So that's what I did. And then I slapped on this little cuff here. And that is where I put the pattern, took the pattern out again to look how she made sure that she matched the worsted to the chunky weight. So I did that according to pattern again. And then I didn't do anything again. What I did is I added thumb holes, because these sleeves are quite long, so I can put my thumb in to keep them where they should be. And yeah, I knit both sleeves, of course, because, you know, I have 2 arms. And then I finished the body because I decided I was about somewhere around here. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to do sleeves now. And then I'm going to just use every yarn that I have left for the body. And if it's going to be a bit longer, I don't care. But I have 3 skeins left, and if I had put these in, this would go to my knee, and that's not what I wanted. So I just stopped where I stopped. Again, looked at the pattern, how she did the ribbing, decided that that's too much for me, and I wanted to do it different. So I did different things again, put on the ribbing on the bottom, finished that yesterday, and I picked up for the collar. So that's what I'm working on right now. I am knitting the collar on all the worsted weight yarn on a 4mm needle. These are Diet Crafts, the best and my most favorite needles ever. And yeah, so I still have to finish the collar, and then I have to do button bands, and then I'm done. And I started this last week on Tuesday. It's Monday, it's Tuesday again. So this has been on the needles for a week now, and I hope to finish it maybe tomorrow. So it is very warm and very cozy. So I will get a lot of use out of this. Oh, scheiße. Now I just dropped half of my yarn, which makes this even a bigger mess than it already was. Perfect. Good. Okay, so that's, like I said, my only working project. I didn't touch anything else. For knitting in the future, of course, I still want to knit the sweater that I cannot talk about right now because, you know, someone might be listening, so I cannot talk about that, but that's still on the go. I talked about it last week. So if you want to know what I'm talking about, check it out. And I also decided to try and finish some UFOs and whips, because I want to. I have so many things on the needles and things that are small things, you know, that I could just finish in 1 or 2 days. So I wanted to try that. And I'm going to have a bit of time to do that because next week I will be at my mom's house, because my sisters and I, we gifted my mom a trip to Ireland for her birthday, which is in July, but it worked out that she could go now. So she will go to Ireland next week, and I will go to her house to pet sit. So I'm going to be alone there, and I'm going to have all the time for knitting and everything I just want to do. So I'm going to take a lot of started projects with me. Okay. I am not rushing, do I? Do I rush? Oh. I just poured coffee over my book of show notes and myself. Okay. This is awful, and I don't have anything to wipe it away. Perfect. Now, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on here. For spinning, I have stuff. I finally got back to my spinning wheel, and I'm still spinning the orange custom spin. I finished 1 bobbin, and I have this little yarn tied around the bobbin because I had to ask a friend to lend me some bobbins for my Louet S45 because I ran out. All of my bobbins are full. This is bobbin number 10 that I filled up. And I know that I could have put on more, but I want to have an even number of bobbins. So I'm going to spin 2 more, so I end up with 12. So yeah, so this is what I did spin this week. Bobbin number 10. I am not going to spin anything orange for a while. Here's the fiber. This is the fiber that I'm spinning up. It's beautiful. It spins great, but it's a kilo, and a kilo takes forever. So 2 more bobbins. This is all I have left, and then I'm done. So I want to finish spinning the 2 bobbins this week, and then I'm going to be gone at my mom's house. And when I come back from my mom's house, I'm going to ply it. That's the plan. So yeah, I'm still working on the custom spin. I want to get it done. So now I'm going to try my luck again with this coffee. Okay. For new stuff, I have a few things for new stuff now, and I have a lot of stuff for new stuff later when I'm at the sewing segment. So for now, I got 2 skeins of yarn from my Sandra, who is the dyer behind Kunterbunte Wolle. I'm talking about her every week. I'm sure you all know who she is by now. I'm going to put both up. Maybe it will focus then. See? I tricked you. Okay, so this is the yarn that I decided to get. It is a normal sock yarn. It is 75-25. Normal sock yarn put up, but this is so soft. I love it. It's the same base that I'm using for my Ravello sweater, but this will be a sweater for Tim. And I think it's beautiful. It's called Lagoon. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to do, which pattern I'm going to use yet, but I think it's just going to be another flax light. It's really soft and very nice. So when I told Tim that this is going to be a sweater for him, he just hugged it and said, "Mommy knitting sweater, Timmy?" I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna knit you a sweater. It's gonna happen." And then my husband was away for work. He brought me tons of fabric that I'm gonna show later. It's from 3 trips, you know, it's not all one trip. It's 3 trips. But from his trip to the US, he brought me yarn. And he went to, where did he went to? Piedmont Yarn. So he got me this one. This is a hand-dyed self-striping. The colorway name is Here They Come Just in Time. I have no idea if that is a reference to anything. And it's called A Good Fingering. That's the yarn company. And look at that price. But I love the company name. So he brought me this skein of yarn. And then he brought me Piedmont's Piedmont? Is it called Piedmont or is it Piedmont? I don't know. Piedmont Yarn's hand-dyed yarn. That's 100% superwash wool. And it looks like this. Oakland Wild Socks. And the third yarn that he brought is super special. It's 100% alpaca. It's a 2-ply lace weight. So this has, what does it do? Oh, it's the animal that this fiber came from is called truffles. But it doesn't say how much it is, does it? Oh well, who cares? It's a beautiful natural brown lace weight alpaca. And I have an idea what to do with this, because also my husband brought me 3 skeins of BC yarn alpaca lace weight from a trip to Denmark. And that's a Nein, es geht jetzt nicht. Nein! I'm talking to my cat, if you're wondering. So, he brought me 3 skeins of that in 3 different colors. So I think this will go with that perfectly. So I'm going to do some kind of shawl with it. So yeah, that is the yarn that my husband brought me. But he also brought me 2 magazines, which I'm super excited about. It's the current issue of Interweave Knits, and I love this one. I wanted to get the digital version because I want to knit this sweater. And he bought me a magazine without even me telling him that I wanted. And he also got me the new knit scene. I love these. There are really nice patterns in those. I'm very excited to cast everything on. I want to cast on everything, but I also want to clear my needles. So we will see what's going to happen. Knowing me, I'm going to cast on everything and not clear off anything. So, okay. Now that's it for the yarny new stuff. For reading, listening, watching, I haven't read anything in weeks, but I'm still listening to the Half-Blood Prince Harry Potter. It's the 6th book in the series. And I'm listening to the English version because it's narrated by Stephen Fry. And I love Stephen Fry. He has such a soothing voice. I love Stephen Fry. And I've been watching Teen Wolf again. I watched season 3A because, you know, why watch something new if you could rewatch Teen Wolf over and over again? So that's what I did. That's it for reading, listening, watching. The only other thing that I watched was a lot of 8 out of 10 Cats because I absolutely adore Jimmy Carr and his humor. He's great. Good. For sewing, I didn't sew anything, but I have like that much fabric to show that my husband brought me from his recent trips. And I will show you everything because I'm so happy with it. The first thing I'm going to show is something that actually not my husband brought me, but my friend the Stitchionista brought me from a fabric market that I couldn't go to. And she brought me 2 meters of this fabric. And this is destined to be another Hollyband skirt, of course. What else will it be? So that's the first thing. Now, I have no idea where to put this. I'll put it here. And now for all the things my husband brought me. From his recent trip, he went to this shop. He brought me a card. So this is where he went to in Oakland, California. And he brought me this fabric. I think it's 2 yards. I'm not too sure. I have to wash all of the clothing fabric now. Then he brought me this fabric, which has some kind of bridge on it. I think it's a New York bridge. I'm not sure. Is this the right way up? Yeah, this is the right way up. So it has panels of this. And I think it's 6 of these panels. They're this big, so I'm going to make some gigantic project bags for sweater projects, or maybe even blanket projects because of the size of it. Then this is going to be a project bag for me, or a Hollyband skirt. I'm not sure because this is more like a canvas, and I'm not sure if this canvas fabric is okay for a Hollyband skirt. But look at this! Isn't this the cutest fabric ever? Oh, I'm showing it upside down. There we are. Look at it. It's dogs. This is so, so sweet. Like I said, I'm not sure if I can make a Hollyband skirt. Ooh, I could also make like a spring coat if I have enough. Ooh, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. Then he brought me this. It's a zombie or a monster party. It's a Halloween fabric. Again, quite a bit of it. And that's the recent trip. Then he went to London for work, and he only was there for 2 days. So he only traveled with a carry-on, and so he didn't have a lot of room. But he still managed to bring me 6 yards of fabric, and it is this nice fabric. It's an African wax print. It is very stiff still because the wax is still in. So this almost feels like paper right now. So I have to wash it, and then I'm going to sew all the things out of this, because like I said, it's 6 yards. These pieces come in 6-yard pieces. So I'm not sure yet what to do with it, but I think it's beautiful. Hollywood skirt? Anyone? Maybe? Or maybe a dress, but I'm not sure if that might be a bit too much for a dress. I will find out. So, and then we go back to another work trip where he went to, where did he go? Where was he? It was in Pittsburgh. That's where it is. So the first thing he did, he bought me some fat quarters at Walmart because he wasn't sure if he would get to anywhere else. So he brought me this, and I have like 3 or 4 of these from different trips and friends' parcels. So I'm not sure yet what to do with these, but I have quite a bit. Then, super kitschy cats, but kind of cute. And the same with dogs, little puppies. And Wonder Woman fabric. And I have several of these too, so I'm not sure yet what to do. Maybe I will just make some project bags for myself. So that's the fat quarters from Walmart. And then he went to a fabric shop and he brought me fat quarters from there too. So here is a skull one. I'm not sure if that's from, you know, the Day of the Dead. Then Doctor Who, because I love Doctor Who. And this one here. It's like different Cokes, cans of stuff, which will make a good project bag. Then he brought me this camouflage fabric because he thought it was super fun. You just have to look at the camouflage for a bit longer to see how Escher-esque it is, because it's not real camouflage, it's all bodies. All of the forms are bodies. Not sure what to do with this yet. I will find something. And then, my favorite, I think. This will become a short sleeve button down for myself. Isn't this the most amazing fabric ever? It is so cute. This will be for me, a button down. It has to be. Because it's just so cute. With a little puff sleeve maybe. It's gonna happen. And I want to do the exact same thing with this fabric because I'm a geek. That's just who I am. And then he brought some bigger pieces as well. We have this skull fabric, which I hope to turn into a Holly Byrne skirt. I'm not sure if it's enough fabric. I will try to squeeze it out. Because they're listening to music, and I love music, so that's a win-win. And then he brought project bag fabric, specifically for project bags, and it's the Jailhouse Rock Elvis. And I have these 4 times, you know, all these 4, I have them 4 times each. So these will definitely become some kind of project bags, because if that's not perfect for a project bag, I don't know what is. There's still more. Some more zombie inspired fabric, which I love. Now, how do I open it? Here. No? Yes. It's a black and white one. And I absolutely want to make a dress out of this, if I can squeeze it out. I think it's 3 yards that he bought. That should be enough for a dress. Very me dress. And then he got this fabric. He got the last of it. They had to take it off a mannequin in the window. It's this town print, like a skyline print, in crazy colors. And I will definitely make a dress out of this, for sure. And there's 2 more. So another crazy print in all the colors. I think 3 yards as well. And then the best fabric ever. And you know, my husband just knows me very well. He brought me this, which is fabric that I've wanted forever. It's the Hobbit Middle Earth fabric print from Camelot Fabrics. Oh my I'm going to make all the bags for myself. Project bags, purses, wallets, everything. So all going to be for me. I love this fabric so much because I love The Hobbit and I love the Lord of the Rings and just everything that has to do with it. So I'm very excited about this. And that is it. That is it. Don't I have the best husband ever? I'm so happy that he doesn't watch this podcast because, he can never know how wonderful he is. No, I'm just joking. I tell him all the time. Okay, now for everything else, I have two things I want to talk about. The first thing, there will be a VKN this Saturday. It's Saturday, the 7th of April, 9 p.m. GMT +1, because we switched clocks. We are on daylight savings, which means that we are all in sync again. So it's 9 p.m. GMT +1. I hope to see you there. I will, like I always do, put up a link in the VKN thread in the Ravelry group. So if you want to join, I'm getting the hiccups. Perfect. So if you want to join, all you have to do is click on that link. That's it. You should have a webcam or a camera in your laptop or iPad or whatever you're going to use, because without it's going to be a bit tricky. But you can just click that link and you're in. And the other thing, I did something very exciting this week. And I know that most people will not think that it is exciting, but for me it was very exciting. I went to a concert on Tuesday and I went to Harry Styles. And I think I talked about this before when I bought the album. I don't like pop music. I'm not a fan of casting shows. I do not like boy bands. Never have. But this guy I really like because his music, his solo music, is so not what you would expect. It's more like 70s classic rock, which I love. So, yeah, the concert was amazing. I felt old there, I have to say, because, most of the people there were One Direction fans. And yeah. Do you have any idea how loud thousands of teenage girls can scream? I was half deaf on my left ear for a week. Like, I think yesterday was the first day where I thought, yeah, this is working again. It was crazy, crazy. I've never experienced anything like it. And I did read some critics, like, male music critics' opinions on it, that went to other concerts that already happened, and they all said the same thing. Musically amazing, really, just great. But the screaming teenage girls are, you could live without that. Very well, very well. It was incredibly loud. But the music was amazing. It was great. I'm very happy that I went, I have to say. I would go again if I could. I can't, because he's not going to be near any time soon. Ever again, I think. But yeah. So if you are skeptic, I understand. But you should give it a try. Just listen to the album. It's a great album. And I really enjoyed the concert. He is very charismatic, I have to say. Very fun. So yeah, that was the exciting thing I did this week. And also, I got new glasses. Can you see? There's still the switch it, where I can just, take it apart and put different things on. I still don't know what these are called in English. I can do that now. I have new glasses, of course. And then I can see again. And I don't have a headache every day anymore. So that's perfect. And that's it for this week. I will probably not record next week because, like I said before, I'm going to be at my mom's house. And I don't think that I can get a podcast out on the Monday before I leave. I leave on Tuesday. So maybe. So yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful week. 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever. I'm going to talk to you again very soon, I hope. And until then, enjoy everything you do. Bye.